request the other devotees to please take their seats. Hello. I am Kumar this time and I am privileged to welcome you today for the auspicious book release of Arnab Chatterjee's Is the Personal Beyond Private and Public? New Perspectives in Social Theory and Practice, published by Sage Publications in 2018. The book is on display outside and you can have a keen look. This occasion celebrates the presence and the kind consent of the Honorable Governor of West Bengal, Shri, Keshari to launch the book. The kind consent of Professor Subodh Sarkar to be the guest of honor, who is a well-known academic and poetic celebrity. I regret the absence of our second guest of honor, Shri Nitis Chatterjee, noted philanthropist, on serious medical grounds. But at the same time, I am honored to announce the presence of so many holy and singular, yet specially chosen witnesses in the audience, many of whom are well known for their intellectual and cultural bond and spectacular wit of creative mentality. So, let me allow to begin the program by inviting the author of the book, Dr. Arnab Chatterjee, to preface the occasion by his introductory address. Dr. Chatterjee's profile, as available in the last page of the book, spans many discourses and domains from literature and philosophy, law to social and legal, political theory, history and cultural studies. He has taught and held research fellowships spanning nearly the whole India. His last book of poems was published in the year 2016 and was prefaced by Subodh Sarkar, the chairperson of the Bangla Poet Academy. His edit page articles, The Statesman, the Anuradha Chatterjee, and other vernacular newspapers were considered maverick, and much of what has gone in the book. Dr. Chatterjee's surmises have been drawn from those one-page energies which are now history. Arnab Chatterjee first.
Yes, thank you, Noreen. And I take this opportunity first to sort of offer my respectable felicitation to the Honorable Governor of West Bengal, Shri Tripathi, and the guest of honor, Professor Subodh Sarkar. And by all means, as you know, Shri Tripathi is perhaps the greatest governor West Bengal has ever had, right? So, against such a backdrop, it's only predictable that he will inaugurate a book which is, multidisciplinary and makes experiments in various kinds of thought actions. Generally, a book is called, an accident of chapters. But I remember having labored on it, over a decade or more. And as once, Hegel said that a book is a product of what you call a conceptual labor and a labor of the negative. But I'll not take much time because the book in itself is an icon of readability and expression. So, because you're already late and our Honorable Governor is not well in health. So I'll not take much time and I'll pass it on to Noreen to proceed with the program. Sure.
Now, I am privileged to invite Professor and poet Subodh Sarkar to reflect on the book and the author, whom he knows personally and curiously. Professor Sarkar is a celebrity of rare sorts, and his fame traverses various countries in the world, from India to the United States. Besides being an advocate of what is known as anti-poetry, he has researched and taught post-colonial Indian literature in English and various other themes. Straddling poetry and theory in Bengali and English has perhaps brought Dr. Chatterjee and Professor Sarkar into visibility. Professor Sarkar, would you please join us?
Honorable Governor of West Bengal, Shri Keshari Tripathi, author Arnab Chatterjee, and dignitaries. I'm privileged to talk about the book before this book is launched here today. The most important thing about the book is, as I was going through the book, that it's a big challenge that Dr. Chatterjee has taken in this book. As you have already known, that this book is basically a book in the social theory and practice. But at the same time, this book offers you a kind of big manual that has been explained before, but Dr. Chatterjee has taken it up in different perspective and in different manner. The first thing, the question that comes to my mind when I was reading this book, that we have a tradition of the private and the public divide, which is a very complicated issue. How the private and public, they get mixed up, and how it creates a kind of turbulence in social structure. And the parameters that we have so far are not enough to judge the divide between the public and the private. Now the question that Dr. Chatterjee raises, that we have a space beyond this private and public. So we cannot determine absolutely the space for public and the space for private. And then again another space, as Dr. Chatterjee has said or described in this book, as the personal. So the very question is there. The question, the title of the book is the question. So how to determine this personally? So we have three different independent areas: the personal, the private, and the public. So again, the question that comes to, one of the ancient questions that comes to my mind is that even Sophocles in Greece could not determine it. So when Antigone, as you know, Antigone is a very popular play. I am just citing this example because everybody knows it. So when Antigone was determined to honor the dead body of her brother, then how the private and the public got mixed up together. So you can say that this is my brother is killed, but it is a royal house. The moment you take this question outside the palace, it becomes public. So the personal is getting public. This is a big issue that has been discussed throughout the ages, for centuries, for millennia. So I believe that, again, Dr. Chatterjee, as a postmodern scholar, he has again explored the nuances of the divide of the public and the private. Now the question of the personal that comes, and that he has discussed in this book in details. So when Shri, for example, the great romantic poet, beautifully said that I fall upon the thorn of life, it was absolutely personal. It was personal and private at the same time. But the moment, as far as the condition of a lyric poem, that he determines again, the moment he takes it out his personal arena and makes it, or rather pushes it into the space of the public. So as a lyric poem, we find that this poem ceases to be personal, ceases to be private, and it offers the public interpretation. So this public interpretation is very, very important. So I find that in this book, that Dr. Chatterjee as a scholar, and he is an independent scholar, quote unquote, because it's not, so he taught in university, he taught, he was on fellowship at Shimla, but at the same time I believe that he has worked on this book for the last 13, 14 years, not a matter of joke, it's a great period of time, and he has given almost his prime time of his life to write this book. 13 years. Again, I am saying 13 years, 13, 14 years to complete this book. So I believe that this book is going to be a kind of, not only a challenge, but at the same time, it is now taking us forward to interpret the question, the old question, very ancient question, in postmodern, I should say, the kind of postmodern interpretation that he has given us here in this book is really, really important. The last thing that I would like to explain, that he has explained the nuances of the private and the public space. Now the Elizabethan period, in Elizabethan period, how the public and the private and the personal coexisted. There is a fantastic example from Shakespeare's play, for example. So what that, I would like to quote that line, it's beautiful, it's one of the greatest lines that I remember. You just think about it, it was Cleopatra, and the saying goes like this: six on your lips. So the eternity, which cannot be explained only by the ancient or the medieval or the Elizabethan or the modern or the postmodern scholars. It is there and it goes on. It is beyond any interpretation. But at the same time, we find that the ancient, the medieval and the modern coexisted in this line. And this line can also help us interpret this book. So, what would be the interpretation? When a reader takes up this book, goes through the pages of this book, that he is again and again challenged to arrive at the meaning of the book, but not always possible. The meaning goes on. So in this book, Dr. Chatterjee, the excellence of his scholasticism is this, that he continues. He continues to baffle us with a lot of meanings, but finally he has arrived at his own perspective, in his theory, in his practice. I wish him a great success in his life, and particularly this book, which has been published by Sage Publishing. I thank the publisher that they have, I should say, they have published one of the best books of our times. Thank you all. Namaskar.
Finally, the individual stalwart who forms the cornerstone of the present book release is our Governor, His Excellency, Shri Keshari Tripathi. The Honorable Governor, to the delight of Bengal, is a poet whose poems in selection have recently been translated and published in Bengali. He is a lawyer whose books are read by students. He is a statesman who has been the cabinet minister, Speaker of the UP Assembly, and has been the governor of at least 4 to 5 states: Bihar, Meghalaya, Mizoram, including Bengal and Tripura. Now, but overall, he is an excellent human being whose speech always abides by a measured meter and never crosses a threshold of culture which is so close to Bengal. I think all will agree to Dr. Chatterjee that Shri Tripathi is the greatest governor we have ever had. Not only by the stature which he has rightfully gained, but also by a language which he has for himself. Let us listen to the great personality, Honorable Governor of West. So please.
Dr. Arnab Chatterjee, Shri Subodh Sarkar, Shri Kumar Chatterjee, Shri Anuradha Chatterjee, Shri Dipashree Majumdar, Shri Somsubhra Chakraborty, distinguished invitees, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening to all of you. I am happy to release the book titled Is the Personal Beyond Private and Public? New Perspectives in Social Theory and Practice, authored by Dr. Arnab Chatterjee and published by Sage Publications. This book deals with a subject which concerns everyone, and yet it is uncommon. We have been hearing about controversy between personal, private and public. This book meticulously deals with these three subjects and points out the thin line between what is personal and what is private. The book is profoundly original and breaks new grounds. It is innovative, interesting, and is a significant addition to the curriculum. I shall mention three aspects which are very special to the book and impart it an inevitable and enviable quality. First, the way the book redefines the notion of governance or politics, as it is so called. The book narrates how at a personal level politics means the everyday language games practiced by an ordinary citizen, which has nothing to do with such large structures as state, sovereignty, power, etc. The second aspect of the book is the Gandhian ethical attempt when Mahatma denied the public-private divisions, which here has been addressed in the book in the opening chapter. The question of personal integrity would rarely like to enjoy the advantages of public-private divisions. Why Gandhi? Arnab answers that it is because we have been split by the public-private divisions and the personal looks the same as that of private. This is an interesting resolution. The third aspect which I find interesting is the issue of personality of organizations or institutions as narrated in the book. Arnab shows that our modernity entails inserting personality into institutions. The collective institutional nature of the personal overrides the private-public divide and is profoundly interesting and relevant. Finally, this argument in the book is taken to the furthest extreme when in conclusion Arnab picks up the privacy debate that is raging in India. The privacy judgment of the Supreme Court is unpacked in these last pages with courage and rigor, where we argued that the Aadhaar data is personal data and not private data. If it is not private, then the appeal to privacy to do away with Aadhaar is completely misplaced because the personal and the private are indeed different things. This intervention, as I have said, is classical and contemporary in all the good senses, and this is a book worth taking note of more because all in the audience use words like public, private and personal in their everyday lives. Now, it is a lesson to be carried into the future. The moment you use words like personal and private, you have to keep Arnab's period in mind. They are not the same. It has been my pleasure to recommend the book by releasing it today formally before all of you. Thank you.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Governor will release the book. Okay, so finally I invite Mrs. Anuradha Chatterjee to offer a sophisticated photo dance.
Giving of thanks is often epitomized by the gesture of a handshake. And the best description of a handshake has been, to my mind, from a poem I raised a decade or two ago, quote, "I will forgive the hand, but I will remember the pressure," unquote. Similarly, today's occasion and the giving of thanks might be remembered, but the electoral metaphor of a vote might justifiably be forgotten. And since I shall be slain, and might as well be forgiven, I thank the Honorable His Excellency, the Governor of West Bengal, Shri Tripathi for being our chief guest, Professor Subodh Sarkar for being our guest of honor, Shri D.K. Gautam for his empathetic coordination and patience, and all in the Honorable Governor's Secretariat and the audience here for their support, help, patience, and presence. We plan to hold a panel discussion on Arnab Chatterjee's self-published book at Hotel Hindustan International, and we want to see you again there. Till then, goodbye, good evening, have a nice night. Please join us for Hai China. Namaskar.
So many.
सर एक पास